Hi, so this is a slightly different video and hoping this would help a few people that may be having similar issues, especially if you're using a CPU that's slightly like down the lower end, mid-range lower. I don't know how all this works exactly, but I thought I'd do a video on this. So I run triples 1440p on predominantly iRacing, and recently I've been getting stuttering, and the FPS is still running about 150, maybe drop down to 90 FPS when the grid's full, there's a lot of stuff going on. But even so, between my lowest FPS and maximum, which sometimes gets to 165, I would get stuttering. My ping's fine, I'm hardwired, Ethernet, I tried all sorts, making iRacing priority, even changing the router setting. I thought it was a network issue. So as I'll show you, the system I've built, I've saved up a while for it. It's not a slouch by any means. You could argue, Intel, all this. I didn't want Intel at the time. There was the issues of the 13th gen, 14th gen. Intel kept saying there's a patch coming out, there's a patch coming out. That went on for months, and I wasn't convinced that this new voltage patch would fix it. So I thought not everybody, but a lot of people were going AMD routes. People swear by it. This rig I've built is purely for gaming, sim racing. I have an Intel build, and that's where all my productivity is going. But I thought I'll record this on my Ryzen build, and as you can see, it's the 7800 X3D. I'm running on a Aorus Master X670E. That's just been superseded by the 870E, but either way, 32 gig of RAM, a 4090. It's the best I could buy with my budget. So anyway, I bought into the Lian Li as well as the Aorus. So I bought the Galahad 2 LCD AIO and the TL 140mm LCD fans for the intake, and these look Gucci. So I set my fans up with feedback, so I wanted my CPU usage, my GPU usage, and I just thought I'd just have whatever else on the top, which was fan speed at the time, and it ran fine for a couple of months. And then all of a sudden I was getting this lagging, and it was causing accidents, hits and off circuits during iRacing online, which you can't really keep doing. That is not fair on other racers as well. So I started investigating, and then all of a sudden I seen my CPU usage peak up to about 99%, when usually it typically runs at about 60% during racing. I'll run things like Crew Chief, SimHub and RaceLab apps, and they only take a couple of percent CPU usage during racing. I do have, is it Garage 61? I've got that running in the background as well. Everything else is disabled, Steam's disabled, and I just couldn't figure it out. So I was running Task Manager, and I found something very interesting. So ironically, the monitoring system of the Lian Li LCD fans was dragging the system down. I haven't proven if it's the LCD fans actually, or if it's the Galahad 2 LCD on the AIO, because I was running a GIF on that, so it was just, I like a black and white build, so I had a GIF cycling round on that one, so I couldn't tell which one it was. But this L Connect, as you can see, uses about between 2 and 6-7%. But there was this one, this cefsharp, and I would have a couple of those running, and it would jump up to, I don't know, 20-30%, just to momentarily spike, and that was when I was getting these crashes. Or not crashes, when I was crashing in because of the stutter, and 1 minute you're on one side of the track and it pauses and then you're off. So when I was digging into it, I was looking at this, and that is hidden within the Lian Li and L Connect folder. And doing some digging, this is what controls the images on your fans. So I went to delete it, so I just thought I'd get it out, just see what happens. I'm not brilliant at this type of thing, it's just trial and error for me, and the screens went completely white. On the internet there was other people having these issues as well, and no one really got to, well, I couldn't find anyone that got to the bottom of it. So I swapped out the monitoring software, which is ironically dragging it down. So anything that you're using a GIF or data feedback, it'll tank your CPU, but not constantly. It'll be a quick spike every several minutes, but it's enough to ruin your race sometimes. And I was almost going to buy the 9800 X3D. So it's not a workaround, but if you're running sim hardware and all that, or sim software, it's obviously CPU intensive. So if you're running things like, I don't know, COD, that type of thing, you may not ever see this issue. But if you are seeing these CPU spikes, look at this. Especially if you're running an LCD display fan, it doesn't have to be Lian Li. I think Lian Li is poorly optimized from the software side. Their hardware looks phenomenal. I love it. I really do like it. But the software side is awful. So what I've done is I've changed it now to static images, just JPEG on everything. And since then, I've not had a single issue. As you can see, it sits at pretty much 0%. But when you're running GIFs and videos, you'll have a couple of these, maybe several of these cefsharp.browsersubprocesses running, and then all of a sudden you just get a massive spike, like 20-30%, and that's enough to spike your CPU and mess up your racing. So yeah, since going to static images, this has resolved my issue. So the idea of this video was, if you are having a similar issue, check this. Seriously, check this folder here. You don't have to have this expanded. While I'm racing, it normally puts the highest percentage running app at the top here. So I was running iRacing with this window like this in the top left hand corner, like that, just to monitor it, and then you'd see this just jump up, bang, 20%, bang, 30%, when it would normally run tick over at 6-7%. But yeah, check this out, guys. If you're getting this issue, hopefully this will resolve it for you. Yeah, any feedback from your side to help others that are having this problem, whether it's a Lian Li issue or if it's an overall issue with anything that uses that particular folder, or uses a similar setup to Lian Li, run this, check it, and then you can what did I do earlier? If you're getting this, right click, open file location, and if you're running a different type of software, you'll see it here. You know, so I knew straight away it was to do with my LCD setup, pretty much, as soon as I seen this. But yours might be different if you're running a different manufacturer of an LCD AIO or fans. But if that cefsharp thing folder locates to one of your controller, then this will be it. Change it from GIF to JPEG or something else, and even the feedback is yeah. So hopefully that helps someone out. Thank you very much.